Not bad.
Let's go to game 2. Picks and bans. Will Epsilon carry themselves to yet another victory? Well, Dignitas. Well, they go back to Kukulkan in this game.
I think Kukulkan was fine.
I do too.
He hit some big ultimates. His positioning was pretty good. When he did get picked off, he was the one that like kind of turned those fights around and allowed FrostiaK to get online, as online as he was.
But if Kukulkan is good, so is Ra. They're like basically the same character. One just brings a lot of heal to the table. And then, I mean, both really easy to clear the wave. Both are susceptible to the same ganking characters. Both have the high damage ultimates with roughly the same amount of damage output.
I mean, the ultimate's the big key is that they're very similar. But I think with the heal compared to a tornado, the difference in zone control is different. You know,
it is a bit, yeah. There's less stopping power, less zone control there. But like in terms of like wave clear, fall back to tower, wait for the next thing, the laning phase is very similar between the two.
And the knockup underestimated on Kukulkan too, and that's why you can see that's why it's so good for securing the campsites, not just because of the damage from the ultimate.
Yeah, knocks everyone
it's also
out.
that big knockup. So if people try to come to steal, you can't do it because the knockup.
Kepri banned away by Dignitas, Isis and Circuit from Epsi. I'm just waiting on the final ban here. It'll be Nua.
Well, Epsilon's ran Nua in the mid. They've run it also in the solo lane multiple
Yammyn
times this season.
Destroyed Dignitas with it last time they met.
Dimi and Yammyn quite happy to just mix it up, and they could run it either way, and you don't give anything away with that. It's a flex pick for them.
It was like 11-2 or something in the last game as the Nua.
Big key for that, though, is the fact that they chose Janus over the Sun Wukong that was available, which last time around we saw Dignitas favor the Sun Wukong.
I don't think Sun Wukong's anywhere near as good as Janus.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
I think the Janus is the most valuable pick in the game.
I think a lot of people would agree with you on that one, too. I mean,
by a pretty wide margin, in fact. Like, I think that Sun Wukong is an excellent backlane disruptor, but I think that the solo lane offers a lot more of that. Like, it doesn't have to be Sun Wukong. He may be the best at it currently, but Tyr can do that as well. I mean, Osiris can do that. A lot of characters, even if Vamana, get to the backline and can disrupt.
And that's the funny thing is, I don't think you will ever going to really see Janus and Sun Wukong on the same team unless somebody gets really badly outdrafted and makes a mistake.
Yeah.
Those two gods, we're not really going to start seeing on the same comp for a very long time at the moment.
Yeah, but and like I just don't. Sun Wukong, very rarely does Sun Wukong win games. Like, win the game for you. But all the time, Janus is winning games.
But I mean, Sun Wukong, in the solo lane, for the most part, he wins lane. He doesn't really lose lane.
Yeah.
What does he lose lane against? Hades is an example of somebody that doesn't lose lane, but what impact does he have compared to Sun Wukong? Sun Wukong a lot more, in my opinion, versatile in terms of team fights and what he can bring to him.
Sun Wukong's first pick position is actually probably less to do with his relative strength overall and more to do with how flex he is.
I think it's more to do with Bluestone.
Well, yeah, Bluestone putting him there, but like you wouldn't have to first pick it
flex, yeah,
if it wasn't for the fact that it's such a good support and such a good solo laner. You could maybe pick it up in the second round sometimes, if not for that.
He could jungle too. I'm just saying he could jungle.
He cannot.
Hey, I mentioned about Guan jungle, and then look what happens. You've seen him multiple times.
He can't jungle unless competitive online wins the pennant.
I'm gonna have to check in with his stream again. I checked it out last night. He wasn't playing it. He was playing solo lane. Vamana.
Scumbag Wolfie.
He always tries to make good gods, like bad gods, good. Vamana's not played at the moment, so he just picks it and runs with it.
He also has a history of making bad teams.
Ymir and Freya. What was the worst team he made?
What was the last one that Wolfie was the captain of?
Was it Thirst?
Was that Thirst? Oh yeah, it was the Snipey Thirsty team.
They had the best picture in the world, though. The best logo. I love that
logo. Oh, the Aphrodite or New what it was?
Yeah.
No, shout out to Toll Wolfie.
That was good.
Tyr getting buffed, Sun Wukong getting buffed. It's the year of the Wolfie, maybe.
Maybe it is. Ymir, Freya, though, locked in. And Kukulkan again for Titan. Sorry, Dignitas. I don't think there's a reason not to go with Kukulkan here. ShadowNightmare's playing it well.
Yeah, it's not
in the game. And even when they focus on him, he gets big ultimates.
He's really streaky, though, this player. Like, beginning of the split, him and Poseidon was like free wins. He was getting 20 kills a game. And then, huge slump. And now, all of a sudden, Kukulkan doing really well. We'll see if he holds on to it, though. Let's point out a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the P's and B's here. First pick Janus means that Team Dignitas is essentially forced to pick the Thor in the second pick position in addition to their Sun Wukong, because if they don't, they give up the adapting Thor plus the Yammyn Janus combination. That, of course, opens up Ymir Freya, which is a great dual lane to be able to select at once. It also takes the Freya away from Team Dignitas, which they weren't able to prioritize a setup with the Kukulkan as well. So now they're forced to go into a different hunter, which will be the Xbalanque. And if there's anything we know about Xbalanque, he's mobile, but only in that one little moment. And against gods like that only have one movement ability, Fenrir is exceptional with his 2, and Ragnarok to reposition. That leaves the Tyr as well to follow that up. You bring him back with a Ragnarok, Janus Unstable Vortex, Tyr CC Chain. Ymir plus Tyr being a big factor in that last victory with their ability to lock down a single target. And now you won't have that Ratatoskr, you'll have the Thor instead, who is much more of a liability in terms of getting picked. So all across the board, I think this is credit to Epsilon. It feels like Dignitas is trying to make something up through this draft, where Epsilon has had the advantage through each pick. And now they'll go for the 2-hunter set, where will be most likely the Jungle Xbalanque.
I want to say
that production locked in the wrong god.
I don't think so. I think that Xbalanque solo and her in the duo for a safe pick of the duo.
Why Xbalanque solo?
And, well, Xbalanque solo because he can influence fights with his ultimate and have the blue buff for mana sustain
Makes
as well.
sense.
Anhur as well. He's a bit of a safer god in lane against, this dual lane that you're against.
But Xbalanque can't do anything to clear the wave. You max bolas?
I mean, yeah, you just put you put poison to just poison, just clear with autos.
Right, but like it's not.
I mean, Tyr's wave play is not the strongest at the beginning of the game.
Fair enough. Okay.
But we're wrong.
No,
You were right. Is Anhur going to be in the solo lane?
Well, just because Anhur can just kind of sit back and farm, but like.
Well, he can fight as well. He can fight Tyr very, very strongly in that lane.
I
too.
guess it's Desert's Fury is pretty good here too. That long duration CC immunity versus the Tyr's pretty decent.
It can be okay.
This just kind of feels like Variety calling his own shot.
I'm see what board build he's going for as well is the interesting thing. Is it going to be Devour's Gauntlet, or is it going to be the Soul Eater that we've seen multiple times?
No, it'll be Devo's gloves in the first spot probably, right? Like, the
I
only
guess-
reason you would rush the lifesteal is because you want to get Devo's gloves. If not, you just build Boots 1.
Boost 1 and then go straight to Warrior Tabby for the extra damage.
Yeah, indeed.
He's going to have blue buff in that lane as well. And up against Dimi on that Tyr. Well, Tyr early game, I mean, he's not going to like get poked out of lane, but he takes a little bit longer to clear the wave than he would do, the likes of a Sun
No, but the like whatever 4% lifesteal the Devo's gloves are going to give you.
This is Dignitas' plan this game is to try and put like the dual lane a little bit in a better spot by giving them the Sun Wukong, which we've spoken a lot about last just it picks a band.
We just need to see how this one plays out because it's still Freya Ymir that you're fighting into as a Sun Wukong.
Well,
He's not safe till level 5.
My issue is they've not got a front line at the moment. They've got Sun Wukong for front line, and they've also got a Thor for front line. That's it. Everybody else is going to be on the back trying to escape for themselves. Self-peelings there a little bit with the Kukulkan and the Anhur as well, and trying to protect each other for the most part. Whereas if you look across the way from Epsilon, I mean, they've got Ymir for the all-in dive, Tyr, Fenrir as well. Janus can do it, and even Freya can use Valkyrie just to chase after somebody and not be hit.
So what do you think, Hindu? Who's got the better draft this time around?
For me, I mean, if it goes really, really late, Dignitas win based off hyper carries, because obviously it's Freya versus.
Yeah, if it goes 40 minutes, you got 2 hunters.
Yeah, you got 2 hunters, so you're going to have the opportunity to split push and all the fancy stuff. And Raffa really got to learn to use those frost breaths.
Yeah, it's like the third one I've seen him miss so far. What is he doing over there?
It's the second game I've seen him in Ymir all season. The first one was a minute ago where he missed that frost breath on FrostiaK.
Maybe we should go back to the Thanatos.
No, that's not worked out for him at all.
The Thanatos support?
He ended up getting banned because of that. No, that was because of something else, but we can say it was that.
Yeah, I think it was, let's call it because of that.
It makes more sense. He got banned for playing Thanatos support. We were so upset with it. But this does allow Dignitas a little bit of hope here, though, being able to put the pressure on, give DekuScrub something very, very strong in the support role that can escape bad situations, as well as put the wave clear on, which is going to be important for this dual lane to try and out-sustain or at least out-clear Epsilons.
Yeah, I think the only thing that maybe would have been the better choice here for Epsilon is maybe go for the Sylvanas over the Ymir. I'm just a little bit of a better laner with Freya.
I'd say
less in the
Sylvanas.
mid game though.
I'd agree with Sylvanas. The only problem is that from what I've seen of Epsilon, whenever they're against Sylvanas, they always plan on picking up support. Kill the support is their game plan generally the whole season. We saw that on a Millsy.
But it's not like Ymir is any better at like getting away from targets. I mean, they both have to walk away. I guess he has a wall. That's the big difference.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's still the same thing, right? It's like, oh, they have an Ymir. We're just going to kill the Ymir over and over again.
And if they try and go onto a Sun Wukong, for example, you've got the Cloud, you've got Ox Form to knock them all up and get away if you get in trouble.
Not until level 5.
Well, but there's the Ox Form coming out as well. Thank you very much, DekuScrub, for not making me look
Yeah.
for a second, as he was about to die there. But once again, the aggression back on. But now, because he's weakened, he's probably going to get aggressive. No transformations this time round. Well, Frost Breath, but Glacial Strike, early game damage, very, very strong. And this is why Raffa's picked Ymir, It's clear. He's picked it because he wants to make sure he puts the pressure on this duo.
First Blood once again goes to the Epsilon duo as they put the pressure on. As you mentioned at the end of the last game there, DekuScrub is the coach for this team, subbing into the support position. And the normal support player, FrezzOO, will be playing the Hunter this time around. So it's a... oh, there's a Thor. Not on target. Dodged. Emilitoo, he'll still die.
Freeze, and then followed by a banish as well, and
He won't actually die, in fact. Ooh, nearly clipped there. Adapting's still going to try to make it happen, even with the slow. Ragnarok, snatch him back. Here comes the Janus damage. Does he have what it takes? 1, 2, no. I think that Unstable Vortex didn't do quite enough damage for them to follow this one up, and FrostiaK will clear the wave and fall back.
That was an interesting fail by both teams, really. The gank attempt from FrostiaK not finding a target. To be fair, that was a better play from Epsilon in terms of defense. But then Adapting rotating in, we could have got the kill if Raffa had more mana.
Show me Soul Lane, where Variety is falling back now. No, he's not going to recall, but both level 6. Variety actually getting the better of Tyr for the moment.
He's got Bluestone as well, that Tyr, which is one thing that I've not really thought about until just this moment, where I'm like, oh, Tyr with Bluestone, interesting.
Oh, hey, wow, well, we missed that as we were talking about Bluestone pendants. Dignitas, they flex their muscles with that Kukulkan and take a very, very early 3-minute Gold Fury.
And that's the big key. It's just brought them even. But that's what Kukulkan brings to this table. He's the ability to clear out what, in any way, shape, or form, could Epsilon do to respond to that. Janus snipes. Well, at this stage of the game, it's not going to be as effective as a Kukulkan ultimate.
That was a very strange trade there, Dimi. He body blocked 2 Anhur shots to keep a minion alive.
Hey,
was doing,
those minions worth
but
gold.
the minion's doing 25. The Anhur's doing like 60.
He was trying to get in tower, though, for the gold. Because if the tower hits it, he doesn't get any gold. Denial of gold by taking a tower shot too. It's not a bad idea.
That's that old DM Brandon 3 gold huge misplay.
Right, well, I'm not that far. I was just saying what he was doing. I wasn't like it was a big misplay by taking those hits. Didn't take it that far.
Too much? Too soon?
Oh, it's not too soon. It was a couple of months ago.
Yeah, it's been plenty of time, right?
It was against, I can't remember who it was on that we spoke about. But
Totally, right?
Oh, it was on Tolly.
I think it was Totally. You don't even play anymore.
I know, that's what I mean. If they don't play anymore, it's fine. It's not too soon.
Shout out to Totally probably doing an analysis of this game on his channel.
I actually saw him tweet that. Yeah, he is doing an analysis.
Well, there you go.
Well, he probably can't hear us if he's doing an analysis. So.
No, he probably hears. He could probably like barely hear us. And he heard his name and he turned it up.
He'll be like, oh, hang on a second.
And then like he's gonna turn it up just in time for me to say like Totally sucked, right? And then he's gonna be like no, and be sad and tweet me and tell me how mad he is.
Good times.
Shout out to Totally.
But that's the pace of this game right now. That we can have a little conversation about that because
This game is so slow that ain't a Totally's bad. Is that what you're saying? How dare you?
banter. I'll just save it with banter. That's the only thing I can do. But the game plan for Dignitas, honestly, this game is just wait till mid-late game, get Anhur some levels.
Here we go. Here we go.
But we do have a big gank attempt onto Dimi, who's not the easiest target to bring down on that tier.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? Tier's like, okay, well, let's just wait for the Darkest of Nights to be about to pop, and then I'll just ult away.
And one thing he's done as well, full teleport. He's already got that online as well.
Fine.
He realized he's going to be a little bit struggling in terms of wave clear early on against Anhur. On top of the fact that this can make an impact for saving, for going for Gold Furies. But Dignitas made the right call with the Gold Fury to bring the game even.
Well, folks, if you are just joining us here, about 5.5 minutes into game number 2 between Dignitas and Epsilon. Game 1 went to Epsilon in a relatively long game, in fact, about 36 minutes.
Yeah, above their average.
Yeah,
above
they gave away a little bit of pressure at the end of the game, forced it to go a bit longer. Now, moving to game 1, once again, it's the first blood happening in the dual lane for Epsilon. And this will be the final game out of Europe today. After this, we'll be moving on to a 2-game set out of North America for Denial and Enemy. And I have a gank coming out on the left side where Frezzy finds himself not only in a lot of trouble, but also dead.
And that's just rotation from Epsilon being on point, realizing he was slightly overextended there, and the team of Epsilon just immediately come all the way in, pick up the kill for pretty much free.
You know, it would be real nice for Xbalanque players if Sprint became back in the meta.
He's in a bit of trouble here. He's going to have to leap away soon. And
that's fine.
I mean, Dimi will be able to sustain this up as well. He's got Devour's going on, so I guess it's not so bad.
His Devo's gloves are, online now, so he can take that poke a little bit better.
Yeah, he'll be able to, but Dimi definitely going to sustain a little bit more. Mid lane, though, maybe look for ShadowNightmare. It's a good wall, actually, which will set up, adapting to go aggressive. Good slow, good freeze, forces the beads, and immediately Epsilon back away, which I think is the right call, because we'll just see adapting come back to this lane now with the Ragnarok.
Yeah, Variety able to continue this because of that Thor pick, right? I mean, if Thor is on the side of Epsilon, no way he stays in this lane. Instead, he'll go ahead and clear, fall back himself. Teleport 3 is done, of course, for the tier. He'll be right back to lane. The question is, what will Anhur do in response? He'll pick up boots, too, so there will not be any lane pressure coming from the Anhur for now. Tier, he's going to walk back as well, as it looks like they may want to engage across the map. They'll force out DekuScrub's ultimate there. Probably not necessary, right?
Not just all. I believe that was beads as well. It was. They got both of those things off him.
Why?
Well, this is Epsilon's plan, though. They've done this time and time again all season. Pick on the supports. Hang on, iRaffer's being caught out a little bit there. Not going to get ulted.
Right, but you get frozen by Ymir, right?
Well, he's worried about the all-in potential and talk about all-in
potential. What all-in potential? If he goes up, if he gets hit by Ragnarok, he just uses beads there instead of for the Ymir freeze and ultimate.
Emilitoo made the right call there, but luckily he's got reinforcements from his team. He's going to fall down, but maybe they can trade this.
I don't think so. Not without repositioning from Dimi. He'll try, but he'll go right through FrostiaK because he goes up in the ultimate. Nicely timed there by the jungler on the side of Dignitas to avoid that damage from Dimi. He'll re-engage though. Nothing cooking. Ragnarok is down.
He's just trying to defend the purple buff more than anything, so Epsilon don't get a win out of that one. I don't agree with Emilitoo trading for some Wukong there. He didn't seem wise. He'd already got the beads. They already got the ultimate out of him.
Sun Wukong just he kind of forces you to tunnel vision. It's just he's such a hard kill to secure, and so many times he's that solo laner. He's so resilient, and he is a damage dealer that I think that was just what that was. Just like I hate Sun Wukong. I want to kill him. And
over on the right line, the Variety's going to get a bit of free farm over here. Obviously, Dimi did rotate to that engagement. So he put some pressure onto that tower, chipped it down to just below half after that minion wave comes in, and should be able to swing back and pick up his blue buff. So it is buying time for Dignitas to get to the sort of stage where their composition should shine, if it's going to shine. Yes. Yes. Now, the time is now. You're right. They don't
it's a strange composition because they really, really don't want a team fight with this. If they team fight with this, it ends really quickly.
It's all about skirmishes in the jungle is where
Yes.
they're looking for. They're looking to use Kukulkan, Spirit of the Nine Winds, and Tornadoes to get damage over walls. They're looking for some Wukong to juke around in the jungle with the 20 transformations and the cloud. Then you've got Anhur as well, who does the same sort of thing.
On.
And then add to that as well, you've also got that Xbalanque with the Darkest of Nights. Well, that's what you're looking for. Picks in the jungle, but you've got to make those happen.
So 4,600 player damage put out by Anhur, which is like 2,000 more than any player. Can we take a look at the? We can't say self-healing from the tier because that's it's basically like tier is just absorbing all the hits and just tier's probably healed 4,000 damage.
Defense stance, power cleave, and you're all back to full
Yeah.
health again. And that's the whole thing of this matchup is pretty much just Dimi doesn't take too much poke in a row and he'll live. And he can just heal it back up for the next minion wave coming in.
3-1 for Epsilon now. This one staying very, very close. Gold basically dead even here. Experience quite close as well. No one really pulled ahead that much. And where Epsilon has found kills, Dignitas has found return kills and farm around the map. So they're keeping this one very, very tight.
And the Winged Blade picked up by Fenrir there. Adapting going for the Winged Blade just for the extra mobility against the slows. I mean, he is against, there's Zephyr coming out from ShadowNightmare. He's also got Xbalanque's poisons to
Master's
deal
Will.
with. And then he's got Anhur's Pillar. So he's able to speed himself up through those abilities to get himself away and actually continue the chase for
Well, I think he bought it because if you notice in the last engagement on the left side, the reason that they were unable to secure that kill on that very first attempt was because he got slowed by the Squall trying to move in there. So maybe a little bit of a frustration pick, but as you pointed out there, it is quite good against this team. As he'll go in onto ShadowNightmare, he's going to wait out the beads, then snatch the dragon, pull back Kukulkan,
no
follow-up
follow-up
damage. In the meantime, though, emilitoo does take down FrezzOO on the left side, and it looks like the engagement is continuing as well. ShadowNightmare falls in the mid lane. Let's check it on the left side lane real quick here and see if this kill, yes, it is going to be secured, it looks like here. DQ will fall down. Back to the mid lane now, where Yammyn and Adapting will
this should be a
fend
Gold
off
Fury
FrostiaK.
as well.
Oh, Frosty's going to go up.
I think he's going up not for the right reasons, though. I think he's going up thinking that iRaffer was going around the back. Actually, no, he's re-engaging in the mid lane onto Yammyn. A little bit risky. Unfortunate that this Paul didn't connect there. But
oh, did he whoop him through the wall?
Oh, nearly.
Man, nearly.
Didn't manage to find it. But it did delay Epsilon from doing the Gold Fury, which is quite important because ShadowNightmare is up in a few seconds, and I don't think Epsilon are going to feel like going for it again with that ultimate beat.
Yeah, which is really more or less a poor choice with Epsilon there to chase that kill instead of just taking the Gold Fury.
Yeah, they started it, but I think that's the big key about Epsilon. They don't necessarily go for the objectives until all their teammates are safe. Once their teammates are safe, it's the moment that they go, okay, cool, let's do objectives now.
Yeah, who are we to argue with their one loss on the split? So.
Exactly. They're still the best team in both SPLs, NA and EU, because they've only lost one game right now.
Now, like the big question is, how good would they have been if they would have played in the last split's LAN?
That's the interesting point that it's all everyone's on everyone's lips. Is like how well would they have done at LAN? Well, let's take into account Paradigm, who made it here. They got themselves through to the final.
Right.
Last LAN, which is a better achievement than what we've seen out of them in the previous LAN they came to.
Indeed.
As well. And for the boys of Epsilon, I think this was for me, it was better that they didn't make it, because now they've had this time
I'm sure they would disagree with you.
I think it was better for them because they sat back and went, damn, we messed up this season, And now we have to focus fully on this next season. We've got a big point to prove. And the teams last season were talking about how good this Epsilon squad potentially were.
Yes, they were.
And could be. And now we've really seen the fruition of that this split.
What were they in the Challengers Cup?
They came from the Challengers Cup.
What was their name? What was
It wasn't Epsilon. I had it written down. Not Mortality.
Raffer was Mortality, as Raffer does get a kill there. On the
he was on Mortality, alongside Frezzy, who's on the opposition
What's their
team.
name? Were they Amaranth? Was that them? No.
Pantera.
Pantera.
It took me so long to
Amaranth
remember
was the now Paradigm squad. Yeah, I mean that was really when you heard him talk about. So it was like this Pantera squad from Europe is probably a top 4 team right now in Europe in Split 1 of this year, and then in Split 2 they come in. They make some questionable calls, right? We joked a little bit about that Thanatos play in the support, but like they gave up a couple games trying things out. Then at the end of the split, when one of their players got suspended for bad manners in public games, it came back and bit them in the tushy.
Exactly, and they missed out on a spot of land because of that. They look at the Gold Fury here though, and ShadowNightmare might not be able to get here in time with the ult. And maybe he can though. Maybe he can.
Well, they got the pick. Ultimate. He's lined up for it.
They had to drop it. That's a wise call coming out from.
But it wasn't dropped all the way. It was picked right back up from Dignitas.
And now Dignitas should be able to secure it and take a second Gold Fury of the game. But maybe Epsilon can make him pay.
They'll take DekuScrub. They'll look for FrostiaK 1, 2, 3.
Used
Fourth
hammer.
hit is there. Yeah.
Already used the hammer, so double kill for emilitoo. You don't want to give that over to a Freya either. I mean, to be fair, I don't mind too much dropping a Gold Fury if you're going to give a double kill to a Freya.
It's again the Kukulkan pick really showing through and those hog changes. Really showing how the game has opened up, because that's another 4v5 now that Dignitas has successfully sieged Epsilon at an objective. Because if you look over on the right side lane, Anhur picked up the tier 1.
He picks up the tier 1, but look at the golden experience there we just on the screen. Experience is just under 5,000 in favor of Epsilon, showing the farming better overall across the map. And the only reason that Dignitas is still in this is those 2 Gold Furies.
Yes.
Just evening it up over
yes,
and over
indeed.
again.
Yeah, but the double kill plus the tier 1 tower there evens out the gold and puts it right back into Epsilon's favor, although just by a couple hundred.
Well, they're holding on for the time being, and maybe the iRaffer could get picked up there, but good wall going to save him from a bit of trouble there for the time being.
Nah, let's just go fight. Let's go fight the buffs. What's old Janus doing over here? Hi over here, buddy. He's going to recall back to the lane. Purple buff picked up onto the red here for emilitoo. He'll go and start that one up.
And then emilitoo's about to hit critical mass now as well. He's nearly finished his core build, and then everything else is just a bonus for that god.
And he's sitting on an attack speed buff now. It looks like he'll come back for that purple here in just a moment. As red is down and on the floor for old adapting. Clearing out the wave now is emilitoo. Then he'll go back to that purple buff. Fatalis online as well, we should note. As his first item. That's why you see him moving around so Mazza Rapido when he hits the minions.
Yeah, adapting as well this game. A bit quiet. 1-0-4. I mean, he's normally a little bit higher on the kill chart at least, not so much on the assists, but emilitoo getting the credit for most.
Well, he's played so much Thor, right, that really goes so fast and is able to get around the map so well. It's just like, you just think like, wow, he's really playing slowly here. But I guess you're right. It's almost 15 minutes in. We haven't seen too much action on the Fenrir. A couple failed gank attempts and a lot of farming.
I like what we saw at FrostiaK there. He didn't even try and gank Dimi. It's like, this is a tier this time. I'm just going to soak some experience in the lane, rotate over, get a bit, and obviously pick up that blue buff, hopefully. But Epsilon looking to contest it.
Dimi adapting and Yammyn all here. On the other side, it's the jungler and the support that have rotated over. So big DPS advantage on the right side for Epsilon for now. Now it's a 4v4 as ShadowNightmare and iRaffer rotate in. iRaffer takes quite a bit of damage till Aegis. And
oh, the pillar was great. He's going to block him getting through it. He can't get through it. Pulls him close. iRaffer falls down. Variety's pillar saves the day.
Holy, what a play there out of Variety. Such clever stuff. We'll see that one in the highlight reel, I'm sure.
Access denied. That's all you got to write. And it gets a Ymir too. I mean, of all the gods to do that to, Dimi, a little bit caught out, but Lawbringer's away, saves the day. And Dignitas managed to pick up the second kill thanks to a nice bit of, honestly, team play is the best way to put it there.
Midgardian Male selected from the tier to try to slow down this Anhur a bit with those in-hands. You may see another anti-attack speed item coming out as well. But it'll be Cudgel for now. That's likely going to the Runeforge, not the Frostbound.
And that makes sense to go for the Midgardian here because he's not going to be in range for Mystical Mail tick procs because obviously the Hunters stay a little bit further back in range. So instead, if they do throw in hands onto him, he's going to be able to slow them down, continue chasing, or at least allow his team to chase.
Can you do it, Dimi? Nope. You didn't see the Sun Wukong there. Yeah, he stole it away.
How rude. Nice little play.
Ragnarok's going to be used on a FrostiaK just inside the Gold Fury pit, and he is dead. You can see that Freya damage online now with Demonic Grip.
Yep.
Chunking players.
Completely bursted down. He's on a rampage as well now. 6 kills credited to him. Involved in 9 of the 10 kills across the map.
So you mentioned in the last game, like we pointed out how much player damage ShadowNightmare put out on this Kukulkan. Not so much this game.
No, because he's not managed to find the big ultimates. I mean, to be fair, the ultimates we've seen him use have been good ultimates.
Objective securing.
Gold Furies, which has been the big key for them. They've not really had a team fight where he was able to rotate to a team fight and get it off, or they've not really focused him this game, which is another point. They kind of left Kukulkan alone in the mid lane to do his own thing, realizing that if they try and kill him, he could potentially pick up 1 or 2 of them as well.
It's curious because they did select the Fenrir to basically do exactly that.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, in that mid lane, they had the opportunity a couple of times, but they've not gone for it.
It's actually a little comical. Look at Team Dignitas' actives here. You think they want to get killed by Fenrir?
I think Fenrir is a big issue for him. But I like the fact Frezzy's just like, nah, I'm good. I've got Jaguar.
Yeah.
I'll be okay. But sometimes you have to go for the risk-reward factor here as well, because when you're behind, you've got to sit there and go, well, if I invest in beads, I'm going to get further behind on damage. As we can see, Fenrir getting a little bit caught out. Adapting should live for the time being, though.
Beads forced there on adapting. His leap will be down as well, Unchained for the moment. But the re-engage coming out, iRaffer, is he going to blink? He's going to look to wall. He runs into tower range, doesn't throw anything out. Pillar comes down, Kukulkan over off the left side, Sun Wukong rotating in as well. We'll try to make the play into iRaffer for now, but the wall is there. Sun Wukong hits with the Jingu Bang. No slow to hit iRaffer. Cat stun will be successful, but it may be too little too late. He's going to try to turn around and look for the freeze. Now re-engaging. Variety, Desert Fury, the spin to win coming up from FrostiaK as well. The wall win. Double tap off the mark. Looks like he ported a bit too early to FrostiaK. Still chasing iRaffer, but the beautiful portal coming out of Janus and the Bluestone Pendant tick's not going to be enough. And the re-engage coming out now from Epsilon. Can they get back in and find kills off of this?
Adapting's going to clean up.
Yes, Adapting gets 1 kill now. That resets his runes. He'll pull Variety back into the Unstable Vortex. 1, 2, 3 should do it. The leap over the top. Unchained should be coming off of cooldown. No, he used it to engage. Now it's Yammyn that's being aggressed by FrostiaK. FrostiaK dodging the Unstable Vortex, but that's slow. Is going to allow a lot of in-hands to come out from Adapting. Put several more through. Oh, tries to go up on place into FrostiaK.
Really good
Great
Aegis.
Ultimate comes through. It's going to force a disengage from Epsilon for now, but re-engage from iRaffer's Ymir does find the kill onto FrostiaK. A long, long bloody engagement, but it puts Epsilon ahead now 12-2 at the 18-minute mark.
So Dignitas just committed 4 men to try and kill a support Ymir.
Yes.
Chased him all the way down, didn't find the kill on him, got themselves out of position, and then Epsilon cleans house.
Honestly, it ended up going better than it should have for them, in fact. Right, chasing that far to only give up 2 kills there.
Yeah, I mean, that should have
And
been
one
a
of
lot
them,
worse.
FrostiaK could have probably disengaged.
But you saw how long that fight went. They chased Raffer all the way down. Raffer based, came back and picked up the end kill.
Right. Yeah. No, it was an awful decision.
But what was the game plan after picking up Ymir? That's what I don't understand. What was the
High-five
game
each
plan
other and
after?
be like, we got to kill?
We got a kill, but now, now we potentially give up.
You're right. I mean, they didn't have
position.
damage. Like Fire Giant buff, the blue buff was already down and stolen by them, so that deep aggression on the right side, not that great. I think both teams just sat there for so long fighting over that blue buff on the top side that they ended up just having a skirmish on.
Epsilon going to do the Goon Squad on the left-hand side this time onto FrezzOO, who, honestly, is in a really rough spot. No beads available for him. He'll fall down. FrostiaK just committed to a very bad fight. Now he's going to get hit by Ragnarok and a big ultimate combo.
Come on,
with Dimi. Dimi wanted the kill for himself. That's
He
what
did.
it was. He wanted the kill for himself.
You saw adapting there, actually popping his beads 3 as well. The movement speed buff plus the proc of the wing blade makes him really, really fast. ShadowNightmare hitting him there with a squall likely leads to his death. If that's a stun, it's not. Misses the Ragnarok there as well, it looks like, or maybe canceled after hit 1. Emilitoo finds variety over in the left side lane. I don't think they were expecting the Hunter to be here. He'll try to case down DekuScrub as well, because here comes Yammyn on Simple Vortex. Off the mark as the bird is there. Is there a whoop from Emilitoo is the question. I don't know if he can keep the distance. Doesn't matter, because here comes Unchained. Banish. He banishes away the stun, though, but the slow should be enough. Ragnarok plus the ultimate. Yes, indeed. Down you go. DekuScrub. Nearly a disaster there.
I like what
from
Emilitoo did
Epsilon.
there. He held his ultimate Valkyrie to get it low enough so he could secure the kill and get the kill credit himself, but adapting too much damage, so picks it up. And now Epsilon, and since that honestly that kill onto Raffer, this game's pretty much
Yo,
done.
look at that. It's Transcendence after Wingblade on Fenrir. We just didn't see that one happen at all, but what the hell? Base power, baby.
It's just damage. I got nothing on that one.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to go back to base because he can sustain consistently, and now with the mana as well and Bumbers,
All right.
never running out of mana. That's the only thing I can think about why he would do that.
Mail of Renewal coming up next.
I mean, he's 4-0 too, and to be fair, you can't discredit him. He's probably the best player in the world.
He's
according to a lot of
4-0
people.
and 7.
Well, he's the best player in the world.
He is
according
still
to
the
that.
best player in the world.
So if that's the case, then he can do what he wants.
He'll get a Mail of Renewal, it looks like, as well.
I mean, when Cyclone was credited with the best player in the world for a while, I mean, he ran crazy gods and crazy items too, and everyone was like, well, he can do that. He's the best player in the world.
Yeah. Well, what's so curious about this is that Fenrir and Thor are quite similar in terms of their output. And with Thor's, you see Jotun's rush into the Mail of Renewal. But here you'll see Wingblade Transcendence in a Mail of Renewal. Like, why is the build-up so different is kind of the question for the two characters. I think you hit the nail on the head earlier. It's just that slow composition forced him to go for the early utility item.
The only reason for the Wingblade is the slow composition. Like, he's going to have to deal with the Anhur pillar, once again, the Xbalanque poison, and obviously there's effort coming out from ShadowNightmare on that Kukulkan.
Master's Will
They
for
went
some Wukong.
Yeah, true. Forgot about that one.
No longer knockup.
Did not take that into account.
Now it's slow.
It misses that knockup used to be good though, right?
It was very good. You know, Brandon said to me the other day, I actually like the slow better. And that's when I knew he knew nothing about this game.
I don't normally laugh, but that one made me chuckle a little bit. That was like, okay, I like that one, but...
Him and F-Dot down there in Bronze 5 just chatting up about great pro-level strategy.
Rumor has he nearly made it Masters, or he did make it Masters for a day or two, from what I heard.
Brandon?
Recently. Yeah,
Or
recently. Tom? No, not Tom. Don't be silly.
You know.
Don't be silly. There's about
Hey,
the same
it's
chance of Kevin making Masters like that.
Woo! That's like Ray not having 4 Masters accounts. All of these things are not true. Did they invested a good little bit into killing that decoy there? I wonder if, did they get fooled? Like, why do Fearless chain the decoy?
No ultimates are down. Now they're going to Ragnarok and pick up one target, and immediately it's going to get evaporated. Frezzy falls down again. Frezzy, still no actives.
Against Fenrir? Well, maybe they're just saying, look, just meet me at 40 minutes at 6 items, dude. Like, we don't really care if you die on the way there.
Well, if you want to make it 40 minutes to 6 items, get to 40 minutes first of all is the first call I'd be looking for. And no, he's not going to find it because Epsilon's just on the warpath now.
Yeah, barely not dying there was FrostiaK, escaping with his life. As a tier 2 in the mid lane now is aggressed by Epsilon. Safely, 23 minutes into this game, they'll take the first tier 2 tower of the game.
Ruff is just having fun there for the most part, just juking in and out and going to eat a tornado as we watch him go away. The rest of Epsilon, though, they're going to take the speed buff, probably walk round towards the Fire Giant there. As Raffer looks like he might be leading them on a merry goose chase round the other side of the jungle to keep them busy. Variety's going to continue this chase run. They want Raffer, but Raffer going to keep bravely walking away as the rest of the team, well, they're just chilling.
So it goes. This one's shaping out to look like game number 2 from the first time these two teams played.
Variety leaps in, now overextended. Dimmy's just teleported around the back and now Variety's caught out of position. I'm going to get chased down by everybody. Oh, he missed!
No!
Oh,
Okay.
I don't say today. Okay.
That would have been absolutely hilarious.
That would have made me so happy.
Maybe absolutely fabulous. What do you think? You're a Brit. AbFab fan?
Wow, you know AbFab. I saw that on Hulu the other day. I was like, wow, you have that over here. That's strange.
Yeah, it used to be shown on TV here late night.
It's a bad representation of English people.
No, it's not.
Oh, it really is. It really is. Fire Giant gets dissuaded from Dignitas doing it, though, as the score still 19-2. One of the longer games again from Epsilon. They're not... I want to say they feel like they break the back of this game. They're like, okay, we're just going to relax in the gas. And they can afford to do that, I guess. But they're just doing it a little bit too much for me right now.
Yeah, buffs being picked up now on the backside here for Epsilon as we ride along with Emilitoo and his dastardly backpedaling with the Fatalis.
When Bancrofts as well, just for extra, extra sustain in these engagements.
Extra oomph.
Combined with the passive.
Yeah, all that oomph. Yeah, granted, he does give you all the life steal, which is nice. But it's really that 100 power plus the bonus power from your losing HP. Freya relies a lot on her damage as stopping power. And Bancroft's talent makes those trades, especially later in the game, a little easier. Although if you're behind, often you have to itemize into items that give you a bit more survivability, perhaps. But iRaffer's contest here in the mid lane, so engaging that we didn't catch that Fire Giant there.
Well, they got Fire Giant Freemium on the right-hand side. Adapting does go aggressive, forcing Variety to jump away, and Variety's in trouble. Good pillar, though, going to buy him a second. Ragnarok's still going to continue the chase down as FrostiaK takes to the sky. Beads used by Variety there to survive as FrostiaK did dunk in, didn't find the pickup.
Ton of aggro, basically. I mean, like, FrostiaK's forced to rotate over here. Or, sorry, not forced, but does elect to rotate over. And that results in the rest of the team being able to flank. And once again, it's iRaffer fighting 4 as the rest of the team secures the objective. It worked for the Fire Giant. It'll work for the Tier 2 as well. No, but it's a 2-man Unchained stun now. FrezzOO, he falls down as well. Oxform may not make it far enough as another stun comes through. Remember, runes are reset. DekuScrub eats the Ymir ultimate. He eats his demise. It's a 2v5 now as well. Ultimate going to come through off the mark from ShadowNightmare. Yammyn, unstable vortex through the wall. ShadowNightmare dodged it. Nicely played there. Mjolnir's attunement for his trouble. Adapting, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down you go. He'll some tornadoes for his trouble. And now it is the exposed Phoenixes in 2 lanes. 4 members up, 1 member down for Epsilon. And just the Thor remaining. FrostiaK, he's likely to fall here as well. Dodging. Mjolnir's attunement. And Epsilon, have you considered hitting Phoenixes?
Well, they have done now. They take the first one down. They're going to look to probably just straight out end this one here as Yammyn goes to the mid lane to take out that Phoenix. Ragnarok used by Adapting, but FrostiaK's probably going to fall down there to emilitoo once again, who is now Divine as they pick up the middle Phoenix. Epsilon on the warpath. To be fair, coming into this game, most people would have voted, or if not, did vote for Epsilon to win this one 2-0. But coming in with a substitute where you put your support in the Hunter role, not the ideal situation for Dignitas.
It wouldn't have been the craziest thing in the world to see them win a game. They have some momentum coming into this. A 2-0 from Dignitas would have been pretty amazing.
If they had the full roster here, it would have been good to see them actually fight Epsilon to see where they're ranking themselves up, in terms of the rest of the SPL. And how good Epsilon's looking after that defeat to Fnatic. But not having a full roster, you can see it's not worked out for them. Deku in this game, 0-9-1.
That being said, shout out to DekuScrub filling in that role. FrezzOO as well, moving over into the Hunter position from his normal Guardian role. And
FrezzOO did get beads now, though.
He has, however, purchased beads, so things are looking up.
He's on the way.
But just one structure remaining, and it's a Phoenix on the far side for Team Dignitas. And this one feels like it's all pretty much over but the singing. We'll see. I mean, maybe they can hold their base 2 Phoenixes down.
I mean, they've got a Kukulkan, rather, but at the same time, what can he really do? He can land 1 ultimate, potentially.
He can clear the wave.
The team, but then Fire Giant's going to regen them anyway. Plus, once again, we can see those Miller renewals coming out once more for Epsilon. When they're ahead, they just continue to buy the strong defensive items.
Gold Fury going to be taken again here by Epsilon. And, well, there's really nowhere good to fight, so you might as well fight where the Phoenix is and get something out of it. It's Gold Fury. It's taking actually a pretty long time considering that it's 28 minutes into this. I guess she does scale HP, but still.
Oh, she scales it a bit better now as well. That's a big key. Is on mid lane, Dimi fighting ShadowNightmare going to find
that's
a kill.
Disaster.
Alone by the looks of it. Nope, Yammyn going to steal that one away. That's a 4v5 with 1 Phoenix and no
That's
Kukulkan.
GG. I mean, like we're saying, like Kukulkan was like, that was the linchpin that was going to hold this thing together. He was the glue that was holding that family together, and now he's gone.
Glue no longer there, and the Phoenix, well, it's only one standing, and I think they're just waiting for minions, or just at least a group up. I was going to say wait for minions seemed a bit odd there.
Who needs minions? 1 falls. Xbalanque out of the question now.
So the question is now
his ultimate.
How many kills can they rack up before they bring down the Titans, the big key? And with only 3 members left alive at the time being, well, it's not going to be Many more.
I think they've more or less given up on the kills for now. Nope, I take that back.
You say that.
Epsilon, just win. What are you doing? This is how you lose games. Doing this kind of stuff.
Well, they're not Cloud9 from old days of old D.
Oh man, the super throw.
Always go back to the super.
The hyper throw. The world's throw.
It was the world's throw. It was the one that got Titan all the way to worlds in the end.
The world's throw. But no throw from Epsilon. A couple of games that maybe went 2-3 minutes longer than
it was
they
one of
would
those
have liked,
games,
perhaps. But
one of those games that we expected to go 2-0 to Epsilon. Unfortunately, with the substitution coming in as well, because Ren's not being here because he was chilling with the Pope.
It was a foregone conclusion.
It was a foregone conclusion, pretty much. Yeah.
Foregone. Let's take a look at First Blood, if you would.
Eventually, we'll get.
Please. Show me the First Blood. Hey, there it is. Not quite as dominant in that First Blood. I mean, the first one was like, they just walked in and killed. Here, Epsilon, they got to set it up. It comes with a banish.
Well, they got everything out of Deku. There was the key. They forced his transformations, and then they realized if we get a banish, we can continue the pressure. Glacial Strike does so much damage as well that we can burst him down, pick up the kill. The wall was the key.
8-second cooldown on Glacial Strike.
And it's great burst early on.
Indeed.
Just really good burst damage for the base sets, and then don't forget his in hands.
Player of the game. It's emilitoo.
He went pretty much unstoppable. Divine at one point in that game, minimum 10-1 and 8, I believe. Really good land.
It looked easy for him this game.
Well, to be fair, all the kills came to him. He didn't really have to work for the kills. He just stood around and went.
There was that one kill
cool.
on the. He rotated all the way to the soul lane to get a kill at one point, and besides that, he just sat there and farmed.
Yep, and then just picks up kills with Valkyrie's discretion if he needs to just continue chasing down. This is good work from the duo lane once again, though. And you can see Deku's near like, I don't know how to get out of this situation.
Yeah, and well,
he doesn't get out of this situation.
Yeah, he did. Exactly right. Down will fall the Thor there again, and
it's just kills coming to him.
Xbalanque, I think, dies on later on that engagement. This one, they try to two-man the Fire Giant with their two hunters, but end up giving away quite a bit,
Yeah, they used some Wukong and Anhur just to... I think that maybe that was one of the strategies to try and just have those two disappear off the map for a few seconds and try and do Fire Giant. Was a potential reason for that Anhur solo.
Okay, maybe.
Potentially.
Maybe, okay. We have iRaffer on the line, or iRaffer for those of you that are millennials. Raffer, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, dudes? I'm good. Yourself?
Doing quite well, thank you.
Would it be better if you landed some of those freezes in that game?
It's 2-0 victory. That's all that matters, right?
Very true. Very true.
So one of the questions we had was around Fenrir build-up. So like Fenrir and Thor accomplish, generally speaking, a lot of the same things on a roster. The Thor build-up that we've seen Kennet go for pretty much every game has been Jotun's Wrath into Mail. But with the Fenrir, he went for the Winged Blade into Transcendence. Can you talk a little bit about why that itemization was so different between games?
I honestly wouldn't question his build, because even when he bought the Transcendence, he was saying in comms that he'd messed up. And I mean, we wasn't too phased about it, but if it was like one of the high tier teams, such as Fnatic or Paradigm, I think it would have been a bigger problem, but we were pretty comfortable, because we had pressure in all the lanes, we could get away with that build. But
Super greedy,
usually you wouldn't go with that build.
It's one of those things, when you guys do those builds, it's like, well, we'll give you reasons for why you may have potentially gone for it. Until we hear from you guys that it was a mistake, we can't turn around and go, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
So we have to ask those questions.
There's a lot of power to the Fenrir, I suppose, I guess.
So far this season, though, Rafa, pretty good. You lost that one game against Fnatic, so you're not undefeated anymore. You happy about losing that game or not? Out of interest. Just makes you seem human.
I mean, yeah, I guess it shows some of our mistakes, but we definitely watched the game back and seen the mistakes we made and how the game could have gone a tiny bit different. But we got owned. We just taking it on the chin. You gotta carry on strong.
This was the first set that he played Ymir in, right?
It was
right?
this split.
So why Ymir? Why'd you go to Ymir twice in this set, Raffer? It's the first time you played him all split.
First 2 games ever as Ymir, honestly. No, I just joke. But I'm pretty happy with how Ymir does in lane and how he fares in the invades and stuff. And he's also a good defensive. People can't invade your stuff, because if they go into the jungle without an escape, they're pretty much ripped.
Pretty much rip. That's been the storyline for most of your opponents so far in this split, Raffer. You can find him at Epsilon_iRaffer on Twitch, at iRaffer. Any call-outs or shout-outs before you go?
I want to shout out ML Henlik for being MVP of both games, King Kennet for taking all my elo. I want to shout out my stream, my new series at YouTube, which is at iRaffer Gaming. And finally, shout out to sponsors at Epsilon Esports.
Thanks very much for joining us, Rafa. Good luck in the rest of the season. If it continues as it started off so far, you'll be at World soon.
Yeah, we'll see you soon in Atlanta, man. Well, guys, that does do it for our European games for today. That was game number 2 of set number 1 of week number 7. As we kick this one off, and we'll take a look at the updated standings where Epsilon moves up to 17-1. Dignitas now 8-12, still looking to overtake LC and Titan.
7 games ahead of the rest of the scene is Epsilon in terms of the rest of the EU. It's just such a big gap right now.
Lose a lot.
It's going to be difficult to lose that many games.
Well, that does it for Hindu Man. I'll be back for North America with FDAT, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you for Enemy and Denial, in just a moment.
I've got all the time it seems. I'd rather see you in my dreams. And every chance to dance I'll take if I can't see you again. I'd rather see you in my dreams. And every chance to dance I'll take if I can't see you again. We could be listening for answers.